And we come now to 1 hour 30 Universal Time. In the news at this hour, the President of Chad says his country has cut diplomatic ties with Sudan. President Idriss Déby accuses Sudan of supporting rebels who attacked Chad's capital on Thursday. Mr. Déby also threatened to expel 200,000 Sudanese refugees. He said he would do so unless the international community stops Sudan from what he says are efforts to harm his government. Sudan's foreign minister says his country was not involved in any way with the events in Chad. The Central African Republic said it too is closing its border with Sudan after seeing rebels crossing into its territory. Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has dismissed a warning from American Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. Ms. Rice said Iran could face strong action by the United Nations Security Council about its nuclear program. Mr. Ahmadinejad reportedly made the comment on Friday at a conference in Tehran. The Iranian president said Ms. Rice is free to speak, but that her comments were not important. On Thursday, Ms. Rice said Iran could face international restrictions if it rejects a Security Council demand to stop its nuclear activities. She said one possibility is a Security Council resolution that would permit military action. Officials from the United States, China, and the European Union will meet in Russia next week to discuss Iran's nuclear program. Russia's foreign ministry said that discussions will be held on Tuesday in Moscow. An American State Department spokesman said he hopes the officials can agree on measures the United Nations can take. Iran recently announced that it has processed enriched uranium. Russia and China oppose placing restrictions on Iran. The head of Russia's nuclear energy program said he believes there is still a chance for a diplomatic settlement with Iran. Iraqi police say at least 4 people were killed in bombings near 2 Sunni Islamic centers in the city of Aqaba, north of Baghdad. At least 5 other people were wounded. The explosions followed Friday prayers. Separately, at least 7 policemen were wounded in a bombing near a police station in the northern city of Mosul. In other news, police say rebels attacked police vehicles near Baghdad late on Thursday. They say at least 6 policemen were killed and 10 others wounded. The policemen were from the southern city of Najaf. A police official in Najaf said several of his men were missing. 2 bomb explosions inside India's largest Islamic religious center have wounded at least 14 people in New Delhi. Early reports from the Indian capital say the second explosion came only minutes after the first. Officials are investigating the incident. No one has claimed responsibility. After the explosions, television reports showed angry crowds protesting against the local government. They said officials did not provide enough security. You are listening to the news in VOA Special English. Colombian President Álvaro Uribe traveled to the Valle del Cauca area Friday, where landslides killed at least 12 people. About 40 others remain missing. Mr. Uribe met with officials in the area to discuss the situation. He said he would consider declaring an economic emergency in the area. Colombia's rainy season began in March. Severe weather has left thousands without homes this year. President Bush has expressed strong support for United States Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld. Mr. Bush's comments came after several retired generals had called for Mr. Rumsfeld to resign. In a statement on Friday, the President said the leadership of Mr. Rumsfeld is exactly what the country needs at this time. Several retired generals have recently accused the Defense Secretary of making a series of mistakes in the war in Iraq. Burma has said 4 exiled dissident groups are terrorist organizations. The groups are accused of involvement in bombings in the country. The Home Ministry released a statement earlier this week that named the 4 groups. They include the National Coalition Government of the Union of Burma and the Federation of Trade Unions of Burma. Also named were the All Burma Students' Democratic Front and the National League for Democracy, Liberated Area. The Home Ministry said people arrested in connection with the bombings have confirmed that the exiled groups are involved in terrorist activities. And thousands of Christians are expected in St. Peter's Basilica in Rome on Saturday for an Easter service led by Pope Benedict. On Friday, the leader of the world's Roman Catholics held Good Friday services. Christians remember the death of Jesus Christ on Good Friday. In Jerusalem, thousands of Christians walked along streets of the Old City. They walked in the areas where Jesus is believed to have walked before his execution. And so, briefly now, here again is the major news of this hour. The President of Chad says his country has cut diplomatic ties with Sudan. Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has dismissed a warning from American Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. And Iraqi police say at least 4 people were killed in bombings near 2 Sunni Islamic centers in the city of Aqaba. At least 5 other people were wounded. So ends the news in VOA Special English.